It's your boy Online Davo, and we back with another video. Look, we got a video by Too Lazy to Try. Akaash Singh tries to defend his wife and fails miserably. Let's get into it. This is a new development, so let's see what they're talking about. Come on.
Yeah, keep going this. So husband gets on steroids. He gets fit.
The husband just got really screwed in the whole process.
He's also kind of like a dumb seeming guy, easily manipulated. He's so in love with his wife. He's like so cucked out. He just goes along with everything she wants.
All right, so that was Akaash around 8 months ago. This guy has no self-awareness and is in complete denial about his relationship, even though he
Hey, you would know, huh, Akaash? You would know.
basically just described it there. You know, his wife is manipulating him like crazy, and he's so obsessed with her and wants to be with her so badly. He'll put up with her humiliating him every day, making him look like a cock, spending all his money, and destroying his career. And she has no shame about it. You know, the whole internet is cooking her husband because she keeps disrespecting him. And it seems like she couldn't care less, and honestly probably loves it. Like, she just adds more fuel to the fire every day. It's brutal. There's too much to even keep up with. I mean, like this.
Why would she care? She doesn't respect him. She sees him. She sees herself above him. So all this backlash that he's getting, why would she care? It doesn't affect her. If anything, it makes her look better, right?
Tweet says his wife has done more damage to him than any enemy ever could. Like, she even addressed the controversy and doubled down and just said all her haters are jealous, broke losers. And she also had the audacity to say Akaash spoiling her and spending a ton of money on her has had the best return on investment. She claims it makes his life better and her more supportive of him, probably because it just keeps her from throwing a temper tantrum. So the gaslighting here is on another level. You know, Akaash has spent so much money on her, and in return, she's ruining his career. You know, she humiliates him every day. She constantly makes fun of him. She says he smells bad. She won't kiss him on the lips. And she even hits on and fantasizes about other guys right in front of him. I mean, she has been so disrespectful to Akaash, but yet she still has the nerve.
What I realized is there's some people out there that's just meant to be simps. There's some niggas out there that's just them. That's just what's built within their body to get finessed, to get played. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what type of chemical thing they got going on in their head, but some dudes are just meant to get played out. You know, that's how life is sometimes, bro.
To go on her podcast and talk about how him spending a ton of money on her has been the best investment for him. And she really acts like this is a legit theory. Like, the more money you spend on your girl, the better your life will get. And she seriously says it's supported by Chinese physics. So she just sounds deranged. And imagine Akaash having to listen to this every day. It's probably absolute torture. Like, no wonder this guy can't think straight. His brain is probably fried from this shit.
Because, like, where the fuck has chivalry gone? Yeah, where has chivalry gone? Like, why do these men who make $60,000 a year talking about gold diggers, you don't have any gold to dig? Because the guys...
Chivalry is still here. I don't know how people say that. Chivalry is dead. Chivalry isn't dead, bro. It's just, it's a different kind of chivalry. Or like the kind of, sometimes someone will have chivalry, but it's attached to someone that isn't your type. So you probably wouldn't even go for them to even know that they have chivalry. I'm not saying you're in the wrong for not going with someone that's not your type, but chivalry definitely exists. It's just, you know, it may be a little harder to do. You know what I'm saying? It may be a little harder to find, but it's still out there. It's still out there.
That are actually in the 1% tax bracket, they want to do like the things that my husband and Nav are doing. They want to take care of women. They don't want us to be stressed. They want to be in our divine. They want us to be in our divine feminine energy. I said that investing in your wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have. Investing in your wife is not a
divine feminine energy, but she's on podcasts talking about fucking another nigga. Divine feminine, that's feminine energy. All right, okay. And you see, Akaash don't know the game, so he easily could just get manipulated by her. But nigga, I'm seeing through you, shawty. I can see right through you. All right.
Financial burden, because in Eastern physics, this is both in Chinese and like Indian physics and spirituality. Like, when you treat your wife like a princess or a queen, you spoil her, you give her stuff, you just let her be able to relax. she gets into this divine feminine energy, this divine feminine aura. In return, she starts taking care of you in a much better way. She's so emotionally supportive of you because women are so strong in their EQ and how they can take care of men. And like that energy gets rewarded in the universe. It starts coming back to you. And I can say I'm like a case in point example. Like even before my husband really started making money, he always would find little ways to spoil me, even if it didn't cost that much in the beginning.
Right.
And now like we've gone from like him buying me like AirPods or like Nike shoes to now like, you know, spending so much money at Miu Miu or Cartier or whatever. And I'm not saying that to be braggy. I'm saying that that I've seen this principle like really, really work. And I truly believe that like a man that takes care of his wife is like blessed by the universe.
But does it, my thing is, okay. I think there's definitely some truth to it in the sense, it's tricky. Because on one hand, you could say, yeah, you know, if you taking care of everything, if your girl could just be a girl, she gonna be more feminine, right? In the perfect world, you know what I'm saying? But another thing is like, shit, was she not being feminine before I started taking care of everything? Like, would you even want to be with someone, you know what I'm saying, who isn't showing that feminine side of them before y'all get to that level? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like expecting husband treatment or wifey treatment from a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it would be nice, it would be cool, but kind of just, you know, just show me what you thinking. Show me your character, and then we could work our way to the wifey and husband shit of pay for everything or 50-50 and all the other shit. You know, she has a point, but you know, it's coming from the wrong person though. Someone else, it may be like they may actually appreciate it, but from you, it seems like you just expect it. You know.
Yeah, I wonder why she would think that. Like, this lady's just a professional gaslighter. I mean, she's proven the exact opposite of that theory. You know, Akaash spends so much money on her,
right?
And she's just making his life a living hell. She's basically tearing him down to try to launch her own career while still spending all his money. And Akaash is just sitting back, letting it happen. You know, like when all this stuff was exposed, they could have gotten ahead of it if his wife publicly apologized to Akaash for disrespecting him and just said she's being sarcastic or doing a character or playing things up for attention. Because there were some people defending her by saying that. And Akaash probably wishes she did that. But of course he has.
Even then, it's still disrespectful to their relationship. Even if they was playing the character, it's still disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because someone agreed to it, don't mean it's like not like kind of disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? I mean, unless maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Let me know what you think on that. If someone agrees or someone is complacent and being treated a certain way, is that them being disrespected even though they are allowing it? Let me know.
No say in that relationship, and obviously if she walked things back, then it would ruin the career she's trying to build off of disrespecting him. So of course she doubled down and said she's just being herself and she's being open and free, and she brags about how many followers she has.
And like how they say, like, to be cringe is to be free. Like, okay, if you think I'm cringe, okay, to these red pill guys or these brown girl haters that think I'm cringe, I'm free though. I
don't think you're cringe. I think you're a whore. I think you're a bop. That's what I think. I don't think you're cringe. I think you are a bop who knew which person to try that shit on. You know what I'm saying? You knew what type of nigga that you was fucking with, so you allowed yourself to be this type of person. If she was with a different nigga, she would not be acting like this. You feel me? Because a different dude that has self-respect is not allowing this type of shit to be around his name. You feel me?
Myself, and I have 160,000 followers now. I only started posting last year. Like, whatever you think, like, that's good fucking growth.
And Akaash addressed the controversy too at one of his shows, and of course he's just simping out for her, which I get, it's his wife and he wants to defend her, but she would never do the same for him. I mean, like I said, she could have tried to walk things back, which would have helped, and I'm sure it's what Akaash wanted her to.
This is definitely a situation in which if this is your wife gotta be the one to calm all this shit down. This can't be no situation in which the husband is like, yo, she was just playing, like she was just joking, da-da-da. Nah, this ain't one of those situations in which you just be the man or you just step in front and take charge. Like, nah. These are one of those situations you sit back and just watch how she do. Just see how she acts. Just see how she reacted to all the attention, all the comments, and then that'll let you know what type of person she is.
do, but she doesn't give a shit about what he says. So this guy's down bad. I mean, the way his wife talks about him compared to the way he talks about her, it's just sad to see. I mean, he tries to tell this story to prove that she's not a gold digger by talking about how she was with him through everything and she even stuck by him when he went broke. But it turns out he's leaving out some parts and he's exaggerating to try to make her look better because she tells a different story. You know, Akaash is like, I went broke in 2018 and she stuck by me. But she said she left him and went to India when he went broke. So of course he left that part out. And then also he said when they first started dating, he wasn't making any money. But he's admitted before he was making 6 figures and he was on some MTV shows. So he wasn't making a ton of money, but he was doing all right and he was getting publicity. But then he said the shows were canceled and in 2018 he barely made any money. Even though him and Schultz had started flagrant at that point and Schultz's career was really blowing up. So even though Akaash didn't make much money that year, he knew that podcast was in.
So I guess he has social currency. You know what I'm saying? Like his name still held weight, but he just didn't have the money to back it up. Okay.
Successful, and he'd be making money from it at some point. But in the meantime, because his wife or girlfriend at the time kept spending all his money, he didn't have any savings and he couldn't afford his apartment and he went broke, which he claims she stuck with him through all this. But she has a different story, of course.
Hey, stack your bread, you know what I'm saying? So your bread could save you, you know what I'm saying? Save your money so your money could save you. That's how it go.
And hers sounds much more believable, you know, because it just sounds like Akaash is doing whatever he can to defend her and make it seem like she's not a gold digger. So of course he's going to exaggerate and embellish this story. I mean, when he starts this, he even says he's never told his wife this story and she has no idea about it. Which is really strange because it's about her. So I don't know how she wouldn't be aware of it if she lived it. And Akaash just makes it seem like there's this rag.
She did him so good that bro started manipulating on them. And that nigga started telling stories, started adding in details that was never there, but he wanted to think they was there because when he looked back on it, he like, damn, like she really wasn't there for me like that. Like she really wasn't, ride or die. So he's trying to add a little shit up in there. It'd be like that, bro. It'd be like that sometimes, man. You convince yourself someone's a certain way, and then it turns out they totally different. Or, really, they were the same person the whole time, but...
to Rich's story.
But you finally open your eyes.
And his girlfriend was always by his side, and she was with him through thick and thin. But in reality, when they met, he was doing all right for himself. He was making good money. He was on TV. And then he had one bad year where he didn't bring in much money, and she freaked out and left.
These narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and a whore and all these other things, it's a shitty thing. So I'm going to tell one story that I have never even told her. Honestly, she has no idea of this story.
She has no idea.
My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. If she was a gold digger, I didn't even have 10 to get the bitch, to be honest. But then in 2018, I went flat fucking broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year.
Damn.
And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. We had to move out of that apartment and move to New Jersey. And what's even sadder than moving to New Jersey is I had to save up money to move to New Jersey. So we had to stay on her friend's couch for almost a month. We were basically homeless for a month. So I could save money to move to New Jersey. And I remember the night before...
I've been there before. It'd be like that sometimes. I believe him. Apart, like, so far about not making shit. I heard comedians don't make much until they get their big break, So far, it sounds... Everything's adding up to me so far.
We went to the couch. We had to stay in our apartment illegally. We were supposed to have been out by like 12 p.m. We moved everything out, but we didn't have a place to stay, so we had to stay there that night. It was just me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor, like a real Indian.
A real Indian. Indian's crazy.
So much ahead of you. Me, I don't know what...
Damn, that's crazy. This nigga kind of funny, but she got him look like a clown. Damn, bro. This nigga kind of funny.
My life is gonna be...
Too bad you're a simp.
I'm 34. I'm fucking broke. This dream might not ever happen, but I'm too fucking moronic to quit. And I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October, and we have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, "What's this for?" I said, "You can use that as a pillow." And then she goes, "Well, what are you going to use?" And I said, "I'll figure it out." She handed me back the jacket. She goes, "You take this." And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is why I haven't shared this with her, because I remember thinking, I don't know
she was
if I'm
there.
gonna be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad.
Nigga, she was there. What you mean? Is he trying to say that she don't know that this situation meant so much to him? Is that what he's trying to say? Because nigga, that don't make no sense if you talking about something you never told her this story when she was literally a part of the story. Like, nigga, how'd that work?
Place, and it's a dark fucking time in my life, but I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again, and I will never find a girl who rides for me this hard ever again.
So he's trying so hard to make it seem like it's this wholesome story and she stuck by him the whole time. She saw the potential in him when no one else did. But it turns out, according to her, when the money dried up, it caused a ton of fights. She got really stressed out about it, and she had a giant fight with his mom and then left to India. And then it sounds like once Flagrant started a Patreon and Akaash started making money again, Akaash went running to India to simp for her again. So at his lowest point, she just made his life even more stressful and then left him.
Had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures. But my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place, and then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all the shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one. I'm going broke. So 2018, we're doing Flagrant. My wife, financially anxious person, is like, what is going on? Like, we're talking about getting married? Is this
financially anxious? That nigga chat. Damn, it's all about how you dress it up. Financially anxious, is she frugal or is she just with you for the bag? You know what I'm saying? Those two different type of financially anxious. You know what I'm saying? One is, yo, I'm really only with you for the money and look at you going broke. And another one is, yo, we could drive down the street and save an extra $5. That's the different type of financial anxiety experiences people can have. You know? I don't know. Yeah, come on.
What it's going to be. I don't have an answer for her. I'm like, this flagrant thing, I think. I believe in this. I believe in this. Then I start wondering, like, am I just saying that because that's all I have left?
Yeah.
And then luckily we started the Patreon because I went so broke we had to. No, Andrew was doing great. Andrew was starting to blow up, to be honest with you.
His started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry. So he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working until 2 a.m. And it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship. Everything came to a head when my mother-in-law came to visit us. And I was being very distant because of everything we were going through. Akaash was very stressed, and I think she kind of internalized it like that I was being bitchy towards her or passive aggressive towards her. It was a huge fight between all of us. Basically, Akaash did not defend me, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can be in a relationship with this person anymore.
So after this, we both took a much needed break, and we just needed time to reflect on our own outside of the relationship. I took a trip to India with my mom for my cousin's wedding. Akaash needed to find his voice within the relationship and find his voice.
He still ain't. It looked like he still ain't find it, to be honest. I don't know what the break did or solved, but I don't believe in breaks. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't no break type of nigga. The only break I know is breaking up. Okay? Because if it comes to a break, that means there was conversations we should have been had. You know what I'm saying? Like, the break is really just like the last resort. That's like a Hail Mary. But I'm the type of nigga, you know what? Fuck it, bro. Just take the knee and, you know, let the clock run out. Because then you got motherfuckers like this. She go on back to India. You know what I'm saying? Back to be with her peoples. You know what I'm saying? With her moms and all that. With her family. And bro out there broke trying to figure out his next meal. And he don't even see it.
Between his mom and me.
Finally, a couple months later, I just had this epiphany. We were still getting in fights, but Akaash went on his own trip to India, and my Nana Ji was sick in the hospital. He flew out of his way to go see him in Punjab. I woke up the next day seeing pictures of him, my Masi, and my Nana Ji, and I had this moment where I was like, okay, I know he's the right one. We're gonna make it through this.
And I guess she had a job at the time, so she could have kept working. They could have tried to save some money and just have been more frugal. You know, like
that's another thing too. Like, damn, just cause your shit toxic, don't mean you gotta. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, bro. People have different levels of ride or dies. You know what I'm saying? Some people, if you just give a nigga $5, you his homie for life. You know what I'm saying? Other people, you gotta move the moon and the earth to be considered a friend. But I think with most people, it falls in between. Like, you know, be there for me when I call you, and I'm gonna be there for you when you call me. And then boom, we gonna do what we do. But it's like he couldn't even rely on his girl. You know what I'm saying? This supposed to be your wife, my nigga. You can't rely on your wife to hold the fort down while you get back on your feet. But her job is too toxic. She couldn't thug it out on a job front. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, yeah, we get the whole women and be feminine, that aspect, you know. But my thing is like, okay, there's another side of it, which is like, you know what I'm saying? Do you have my back? Like, do you have my back when the whole world is, I feel like the whole world against me, ain't nothing going right for me? Do you have my back? Can I count on you to keep it solid? Or is you going to go back to India? You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's what he needs to ask himself.
If she's really as loyal and supportive as he says, she could have tried to hold down the fort till he got back on his feet. I mean, I'm sure he's still doing stand-up every night. It sounds like he's a hard worker, and he's doing the podcast, which was definitely going to pay off at some point. So if she really believed in him at the time, you would think she would try her best to help with the bills and support. But it's like that's never even an option, you know, because of course her motto is his money is our money and my money is my money.
His money is our money and my money is my money. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
So
that means you must be a piggy bank. She rather go back to India than take care of a nigga. She said, fuck, I feel go back to India, bruh. She rather go back to India than give this nigga some money. This is crazy.
Once Akaash stopped earning money, it was over, and they're probably fighting every second of every day.
Probably.
And then the final straw was her getting into it with his mom. It sounds like they really went at it. And I bet his mom thinks she's an ingrate. Same thing as Schultz. Years ago, he got into it with her too. So all the red flags were there. I'm sure everybody warned him, but he didn't want to listen, and he still doesn't. So all he's going to do is cope. It's going to be wild. But let me know what you guys think, and make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, honestly, I think that I say this the only thing, right? Akaash, you know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing bad about him, right? He just happened to choose one of the worst women I've ever seen on the internet, you know? And it's like, damn, bro, all the signs was there. But, you know, hindsight is 2020, right? How could he possibly know if we're going to give him some grace? How could he know? He could have been blinded by love. He could have been blinded by her just being there for him when he was broke. You know what I'm saying? But then also looking at it in rose-tinted glasses. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. I think that he got to do his best for him and his career, bro. Because as we see, when the going gets tough, she went back to India, bro. So, I don't know, unless you good being pen pals with your wife, you got some decisions to make. I'm gone. Peace.